Greetings, vloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty. With this week's vlog, it is late. It is almost. I'm actually doing it and posting everything, including the blog, the podcast, and the vlog, and the one this Wednesday on one day because it's been a week and I'm actually feeling better today. Well, I've been feeling pretty well, but been working things. I've been really tired. Today is my off day. Nonetheless, everything's going well, medication as well, and so as is the physical health. So moving forward into this week's topic, shower sensitivity. As you see, I have a shower house. This is a campground shower house I have behind me in a state park that I used to frequent that we used to camp at for many years. We had a trailer for we had actually a couple travel trailers, and until about my parents had sold it this year. So, and as such, we have so we were, anyway, regardless, on another blog this week, and I believe I have further enhanced that by the post of yesterday of mine to my own flair about sensitivity when camping per se. And I with things, and I believe if you read yesterday's blog post that I made on Facebook, my Facebook post, I'm sorry, it will be on my blog briefly, that I said about sensitivity. More so, that was with sensitivity with toilets. This building behind me is a modern brick building. It has mist toilets, urinal showers, sinks, all that. It's perfect. Well, not perfect, but it does, as part of the camping conversation that the other blogger did ask about. Somebody posted that they had an autistic individual who could not shower other than home because of sensitivities. And we're not going to talk just about sensitivities for myself outside of the home, but sensitivities overall with showers. Showers can be a struggle. Showers, baths, whatever you have. Everybody takes care of themselves differently, and I respect always. But a little backstory on my history as far as taking care of myself without, I'm not going to make it too intense, but my parents bathed me until I was probably 11, I believe. If I'm thinking my numbers right, I think I was 11. And then I began showering on my own at my parents' house, of course. Throughout life, I shower fine, and sometimes I was not the best at it, and to this day can have some struggles. More so with the fact of wanting to use soap and shampoo and a wash rag and all that business. Part of that lies within the fact that there are sensory issues underlining the struggle behind the shower. One of the biggest sensory struggles can be the temperature of the water, and temperature overall, but and included in that the temperature piece, which is a big struggle for me actually. You're undressing yourself and then you're going into a bathroom, and that's one temperature, and then you have to temper the water however you feel. Some people may not, and then there's also the competence of it and the ability of doing it on your own, and the ability of taking care of doing the things on your own. But nonetheless, the needing to, and then the temperature or the feel as well, but more so the temperature than when you get in the shower and do what you need to do. Additionally, while you're in the shower, there can be issues with the water. Some people have issues with the water, with it beating, or how the pressure of the shower head, for example, that can be a barrier as well for sensory issues. And then you're applying your whatever necessary things, whether it be soap, body wash, or anything, just anything to your body. And then you're changing the temperature of yourself, and that can be there's a lot of sensory issues with that. Again, then you shut the water off. There's and whether you're staying under there a long time or not. I've heard many autistics can do it forever, and some cannot. It's very as we know, autism is a wide span of abilities and inabilities, and as such, it varies. And then getting out, being completely naked, and then having to dress and dry off and all that business, and then clothes and all that. There's a lot of things in, and that's another thing. There's a lot of things into it. There's a lot of functions, a lot of things to remember. Not only with that, but maybe other necessary hygiene tasks like brushing teeth or anything else that is done outside of the sink, like shaving. All these. It can involve all these variables, and sometimes for an autistic person, including myself, sometimes it becomes too complicated for oneself to do. So it does present a challenge. I think in reality, for myself, I think sometimes it's often the fact that if you do it, you can reward yourself with something nice, or maybe look something good, or feel good about yourself in a way. And this may seem weird, and I do see that some, maybe a pair of underwear or something, whatever that may be, that makes you feel good. For me, it is underwear, and I do I do like putting on it. It gives me, the initiative to. It's not being too graphic, but that makes me personally feel good when I get to do so. But again, everybody's different. Some people have robes. Everybody is different in their own way. So that is all within just the shower itself. Now again, there's the fact, as is with using the bathroom itself, whether that is done, in only their safe bathroom, or so to say, at their home, and as to whether a place similar to the shower house in the picture. I can tell you about this shower house. It does, again, have a whole other defining characteristics of challenges to it. There inside this building behind me, there are stalls and just showers. It was built in the 60s, I believe. And so you go in, there's just a shower, and it's just the shower. And then you have to do all the dressing business as much as you can out in the there's like when you come in. So there's that too. So that there's challenges with that. There's also other this is in a state park, by the way, and also in another state park where the changing area, the stall includes the changing area. So there are many different scenarios to what it could be. And so if maybe somebody, if there is unknown to someone, to an autistic person, that can be a challenge as well. That is a similar situation with toilets. And that was something I included in yesterday's Facebook post, and I will include it on my website today as well. But what it is the fact that people have sensory issues with toilets and toilet paper. Whether they can take care of certain things like moving their bowels and such in other toilets other than their home. Whether they can use their toilet, sometimes have to use the toilet paper that they're comfortable with. It's a sensory thing, and there's always the nonetheless, there is the challenge, and this was more so what was posted yesterday, the challenge of toilets that do not flush. Whether they are a rustic nature where there is no, it's not like it's other than a portable toilet, whether it is a pit type facility and the waste goes underneath the toilet, that can be a challenge for some because of the smell. In fact, it is for me because of the smell. It can be very overpowering, where I personally will limit that to once in a grand blue moon and not continually within the same visit. Unless it's a certain facility that I am familiar with. There are some facilities like, toilets that there are some that work. I wouldn't say all of them because I know some that do not work properly. There is a sanitary facility that does have a container underground that particularly has a patent by the Forest Service, and the waste is outside of the inside of is on the outside and is escaped through a vent. There we have a similar facility here in our town, but it is not does not function properly. But there are some facilities that are just they take care of them. It's all in what you know with these facilities. Composting toilets, some I know, some I don't. But there are many, but as also, and then lastly, I will explain about portable toilets as I did yesterday, so that anybody wants to look at that and maybe give their comment here or maybe on Facebook, they're more than welcome to. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty, by the way. What it is, in fact, is I have a certain thing, my thing, and it may be weird. I'm not I would say I'm more impartial to portable toilets. I prefer to know, as I think I'm a mandate around the world, the person who is responsible for emptying it is listed on, in most cases, on the door, on the door and on it and as such. If or otherwise, I did go on a wagon train for many years, and they own a trailer of them, and I am comfortable with those, of course. And that, unfortunately, is a sometimes all week process because that is the only bathroom you have. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality of it. But as far as other places beside that specific organization of which I am a member, it can vary between the my thing is, if who is responsible for it. If I know, if I have good faith and understanding that they take care of it and it's a good unit, etc., I will use it. Maybe once, maybe a couple times if necessary. But the same token can be, if I don't trust it, there could be issues. So it's a double-edged sword with that. It is what it is. Sometimes you can, but this is all of this encompasses many sensory challenges for autistic people of all ages and all different things. Of course, taking care of your answering the nature's call is very necessary. And sometimes you may have to use the woods, if not, but if it's impossible to use woods, and you must use these rustic facilities or facilities you may uncomfortable with, it may be a necessity. So it can be a challenge. And please feel free to share your comments. I would like to understand where you lie in this issue. So with that being said, I want to thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video, and I appreciate all the new subscribers. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest at Dustin's Dynasty, and on YouTube. There's a handle here too now. On the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com, and I have a link tree. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty. I want you to take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. We'll talk and have a good week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.